That was a slight interruption, so sorry about that. We're coming in for part 2 of our video now. That was actually a really good place to stop because now we're going to go into the decorative mode of this Yunomi cup. So this Yunomi cup is now pinched to the to the thickness that I want, right? Thickness of a pencil, a little bit thinner than the thickness of a pencil. And I've checked all my wall from bottom to top to make sure it's even as possible. And now I'm shaping it. So now I'm going to kind of push this out like with my finger in a circular way so that I'm holding the rim just like this so that the rim doesn't start pulling out. But I do want the bottom to kind of go round and circular. So just by holding the rim and using my finger to go round and stretch that clay so it starts to get a nice little belly. It's a cute little belly we're looking for. You want this silhouette, these edges, to be nice and rounded. Once you're happy with the shape, and I often suggest like looking at it down here so you can actually see the shape and make sure that it's been stretched evenly. You also want to make sure that, again, I'm always talking about that corner, the corner where the wall meets the floor is been pushed out so it's not super thick. That's usually where people leave the thickness. So see how it's getting rounder? It's getting cuter and cuter by the minute. And now I'm going to start dealing with this rim. So the rim must feel good against your mouth. Sorry about that. The rim's got to feel comfortable on your mouth to drink. And when it's a flat rim like that, it doesn't fit the shape of your lips very well. So we want to take this fettling knife right here. And if you don't have a fettling knife, you can use your needle tool. So you can use your needle tool also to carve away some of that rim. The knife works better. If you have an X-Acto knife at your house, that's even better. And what I want to do is I want to start carving at an angle like this. This is my 45-degree angle, right? And I want to start cutting out some of the inside of this rim. At an angle, moving it around and very carefully cutting. You do not want to cut a ton, you guys, and always keep your knife at an angle. Don't cut a lot. It's like a haircut, right? If you cut too much, that hair's gone forever. You get these little ribbons of clay you can pull out, and now, see, the rim is thinner. And now I'm just going to go around and smooth it out. Where I did that bevel cut, I'm going to smooth it out so it doesn't look like I cut it. Here I am, just smoothing. And this is where your sponge can come in, your little sponge. Let's see, a little bit of water, not a lot of water is all we need. I don't have any water right here. Let me go, oh, there's a tiny bit of water, maybe that'll work. You really don't want a lot of water, you guys, like damp at the very most. If you wet this, squeeze really hard and get all that water out. And I'm just smoothing the rim. You can also just do it with your hands, right? Smooth that rim so that it's comfortable on your lip. We cut that rim at a beveled cut like this, diagonal, right? So that it would be angled like this, like your lip is angled, and also so it gets just a little bit thinner and again, more comfortable to drink out of. So that's pretty good. There's a lot of marks on the outside of my cup, and I can either leave those marks or I can smooth them with my hands. It really just depends on what you're going for. I don't mind the marks because to me it's the mark of the artist's hands, and that's kind of cool. I do want to create kind of like a sort of a pushed in edge around this foot on the outside. So all I've done was turned it around, and I'm running my finger on the edge to try and really bring that shape of the foot out. It's just pushing in a little bit like that, so that I really get a strong outer foot. Okay. Once you have really refined and cleaned up your cup, you want to let it dry a little bit. Definitely make sure you dry it out a little bit before you cut the rim, or bevel the rim rather. And I'm just taking one last check to see about the thickness and make sure it's nice and even. And then I can go ahead and start decorating this guy. So I'm not going to decorate this one quite yet because it's still really soft. So I'm not going to put my name in it, and I'm not going to decorate it yet. I'm going to let this dry a little bit. It's too mushy. See how it's moving so much right now? So I'm just going to leave it be. I'm going to make sure that the rim is nice and round, and I'm going to put it upside down to dry. What I will do is show you this other cup that I was working on yesterday, and I will show you that I used this pencil to do my initials. I was going to carve my initials into the bottom. And any of these little crumbs that you get, you don't want to take those crumbs off until it's drier. And then once it's drier, you can rub it off with your finger. But if you try and get it off now, it's going to smudge it all up. And as you can see, I also decorated my cup. Guess what I decorated it with? Boom! This magical eraser that does so many jobs in ceramics. All I did was push this in. So check this out. I supported from the inside and just pushed this in and created a pattern. Remember we were talking about pattern? So I did this little dot pattern all over the cup, making sure, and this is important, don't go all the way up to the rim, because when you drink out of this, look, you don't want to have any weird things on the rim that are going to make it feel strange to drink out of. So right now is a good time to sort of like also check on the foot. This has been drying. This dried overnight in a bag. I let it sit out. I let it sit out of the bag for about 30 minutes. And then when I was ready to leave the studio, I put it in a bag. Always make sure you close the bag really, really well. Now it's kind of perfect. It's right past the leather heart stage, so it's like really hard cheese. Really hard cheese, like manchego, parmigiana. Getting hungry? And so now it's still soft enough to kind of move around a little bit in shape, so I can refix my foot. I can push my texture in without losing the form of the cup. And there you have it. Making sure that this has been really pushed in. Do you see that little sort of curve right there? That's what we want. We want that little curve to make it look like it's raised off the table and that the foot is kind of separate from actually the body of this cup. This is now my Yunomi cup. This will dry very, 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 very slowly, okay? You have to dry this very, very, very slowly. So I'm going to leave it out for about 20 minutes, and then I'm going to put it back inside the bag very carefully. Boom. You can put it inside your Ziploc that's got the other ball of clay in it and close it up really good. And this, tomorrow, I'm going to open it again, like maybe while I'm working on my other cup, I can open this up again and let it dry for about another 20 minutes, close it up again, so on and so forth. And there we have it. There is our Yunomi cup. Boop. This one I just carved lines into, so you can do that too. You can also draw a line design with a pencil. Just do me a favor and don't write any words on your Yunomi cups. We're going to make two, that match, or at least we try to match, not just the form, but also the decoration on the surface. Okie dokie. All right, you guys, thanks.